Oh howdy all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some Path of Exile discussion. I recorded some footage of myself running my first of the Valdo's maps. This is not my own Valdo's map, this is one that someone else submitted, and it's just one that I picked up in trade for 30 chaos because I wanted to play around with one of these. This is a one portal map that had the players detonate after time, and I wanted to experiment with what that does. That mod is scary. Basically you have a rampage style tracker, and when it expires, so when it times out, you take a staggeringly hard hit that is based upon the number of kills that you had in your kill streak. For my character, which is not particularly tanky, I feel like my limit is about 50, and anything higher than that is likely to be a one-shot. The reward for this was only a cold iron point, but it was still definitely a bit of fun, and I'd highly recommend giving one of these a go. I'll put a link down in the description below to a PathOfExile site trade link that will exclude all of these maps that have the extremely severe drawback of characters that die in the area are sent to the void. So you won't have to deal with those, but definitely assess the mods carefully. This was harder than I expected going in, but I was able to successfully beat it. I wanted to try out one of the non-premium Valdo's maps here. One of the main reasons for this is I wanted to get a sense as to just how juicy these maps feel, and to do so in an environment where it doesn't really matter if I end up losing. So, this one has the mods, players cannot evade, monsters inflict 1 grasping vine on hit, malediction on hit, players gain instability on kill, and unstable players eventually detonate, which I'm assuming is some sort of reverse rampage mechanic, where if you kill too many monsters too quickly you go splat. And rare monsters have 3 additional mods, and there's only 1 portal to the area. If I succeed in beating this, I'll get a foil cold iron point. If I don't, I'll have lost 30 chaos, which is very, very manageable. Now, you cannot modify these maps, it seems, with various things here. So I'm just going to test out what happens if you were to, say, add in a... Atlas missions cannot be completed in this map, so you can't do that. And you can... Oh, well, it seems like you can put scarabs in, but I've got 3, 5, and 6. Let's see what happens. Scarabs are not consumed, so scarabs don't seem to work either. Okay, you only get 1 portal to this map, and it doesn't have void on death or anything nasty like that. So we're just going to have a quick explore around in here. This will be tier 17, so the monsters will be a bit tougher than in a tier 16, but there's not the sort of normal scary map mods in play. Now, I'm up at 22 instability, 24. I'm kind of not sure how high that's allowed to go before I get in real trouble with it. So I'm going to work to the assumption that I want to keep it under 100. So no real massive chain reaction kills, which means that a lot of the things you would do to run a map fast aren't going to be options. And I'm quite fine with taking this one slow. You know, using things that, like rather than trying to chain react with big flame blasts, we'll just use the Val one. Now, I got a stun there, and I'm just trying to work out whether that's from a rare monster mod or something else entirely. This here has 7 mods on it. That thing is no joke at all. It's got Soul Eater as well, so we've got to take it very seriously. This guy, he's going to be a bit mean. I may actually die to it, but that'll be fine. What I'm doing at the moment is refreshing my... refreshing the thing I've got, the curse on him, which then causes him to then have an extended duration of the ignite that's on him. So he ends up kind of perma-ignited as a result, as long as I just keep refreshing that frequently enough that he can never get out of it. This monster is ridiculously tanky. Like, this guy is probably, I don't know, Shaper hit points maybe? Maybe a little bit more? Probably Shaper. And I got myself into a spot of bother there. I got out of it. If you were doing these maps more seriously, like if you're trying to do this as a genuine currency making strategy rather than just as a let's explore this without waiting until a character's so powerful that I outgear it, if that was your approach, you would probably want to be on a character that's able to, like, maybe time to kill of 15 seconds on an Uber boss. It'd be this sort of level of damage you'd want. What's that? That's about 15 million DPS. I'll be close to 1 on this character at the moment. Finally got a Val Flame Blast stuff on him. I'm gaining Val souls as I'm damaging him, just because of the way that rare monsters work. Once per 3 seconds you're allowed to gain souls for bringing monsters under various hit point thresholds. I don't have anything with Cull, unfortunately. Okay, that thing's down. Not much in the way of loot from that monster, which I was kind of expecting. Now, in order to complete this map, you need to defeat 3/4 of the... you need to defeat 90% of all monsters in it, plus every single rare, plus every single unique. And also, that includes, of course, the map boss, which is the standard map boss for the Dunes map. But the lack of direct danger mods, other than those rare monsters being fiendish, means that this is probably not going to be all that hard. It's a very empty map. You can see, like, there's just not very many monsters present here. We're at 44 on the detonation at the moment, so we're going to let that count. Oh, wow, I took a massive retaliatory damage hit there. I think I'm going to have to look at that on the replay of that, but I feel like that's when this expires. Yeah, okay. Now I understand how this detonation mechanic works. Every time the detonation stacks fall off, you detonate, and the damage is proportional to the amount that you've scaled up there. So that means it's really lethal. You really cannot allow that to scale up high. Like 12 is going to be how much damage? Like a couple of hundred. So we really can't do any major chain reaction shenanigans here. I'm just going to break that effigy link, so otherwise it'll kill me. And I feel like this is one of those maps that most people aren't going to run this map for the Cold Iron Point reward. It's, you know, something that I'm doing for the experience of just trying out this mechanic. This is a 5 mod rare, so again, it'll be super tanky. But because it's a mechanically very weak monster and it doesn't have any terrifying individual mods on it, I don't think it can do enough damage to concern me when it hits the effigy pole. So up to 11, we can easily endure that. And that chunked me for all my AS, pretty much. What I don't think we can handle is Detonate and Ritual you couldn't do together. Like, I feel like you... unless once we work out what type of damage the Detonation is, you might be able to do it, but it's probably just a... probably just going to one-shot you. Alright. Need to get a real ignite on this guy. That's not as good as a Veil Flame Blast, but it's a lot of damage. Now this is the Veil Flame Blast. Now this boss is going to leapfrog through the air once he falls under 50%. It's actually it feels quite tanky. I'm curious how many hit points this guy has in this. This doesn't feel like tier 16 plus a smidgen. This feels a lot more than tier 16s have. Now, I'm going to cop a detonation because of those monsters dying, but it's not particularly dangerous. You feel it, but it's not going to kill me. It's more that I don't want to be suffering that detonation and then immediately having the boss also leap slam onto me. That might kill me. Combination of the detonation softening me up for the big hit. There, I actually took a leap slam there. That was bad play by me. Boss is almost dead. And I picked up an Iron Heart mission for all that's worth. I don't think there's any more monsters in this area usually. There normally aren't, but I'll just go and explore it because, as I say, we do need to kill every single unique and every single rare and all but 10% of the non-rare monsters. Now, I'm just going to track this. They were all a magic pack. I'm going to see if that's similar. Yeah, very similar amount of damage. It also set off Molten Shell and hit my Primal Aegis as well. So there's quite a bit of damage in that. My Molten Shell's pretty pathetic. One thing I was curious about with the setup there is with the detonation is exactly the way that it works with monster power, whether it considers how dangerous the specific monster is, it doesn't appear to do that. So I think it's just the quantity that matters, not the quality of the monsters that you've killed. Take the boom. About to get detonated. There we go. Take that again. So very slow and methodical clear seems to be the way to go with these detonation maps. This mod is very, very dangerous, and you want to take it very seriously if it's present on any of these maps you're doing, especially if the reward is bigger than just a foil cooldown point. But it's kind of neither here nor there if I get it or not. I want it, I just won't be gutted if I don't get it. Okay, this thing is summoning minions, which is kind of sketchy in this environment. Also has energy shield, which would be very dangerous on a lot of other builds. So yeah, the summon minions are a real problem. I'm actually running away. I need to let my detonations fall off. They have to fall, even though that means the energy shield on this guy's going to come back. Because otherwise I'm in real trouble. I can't let them get into the 20s or 30s, I don't think. Well, they're in the 20s now, but I can't let them get much higher than that. Might actually need to turn off proliferate. I'm about to take a big chunking. I'm struggling with this guy a lot. Anything that I can think of to kill him with proliferation on is going to cause me real problems. The only thing that's got direct proliferation, though, is Barracks Respite on the corpses. I'm going to take off Barracks Respite. I don't want to be proliferating at the moment. That is actively detrimental to me. And I'm still resist capped without it. Alright, I'm at 10. That's okay. I can live with 10. I don't want to go way higher, but I don't mind being at that sort of level. And I'm proccing the Arcanist brand you see there is applying both my exposure from Wave of Conviction and also a second curse, which then refreshes the duration of the ignite because of can't think of the name of that node, the curse node on the curse and ailment cluster on the tree. Likewise, I'm also manually casting a separate curse, and that's providing the flexibility to do it both ways. I'll eat that. Get a decent ignite on him. I think I've got a rhythm now. This guy is going to die pretty soon. Now I've worked out how to kill him. I'm at 22 though, so 26. I don't want to get any higher than that. Really don't want to get any higher than I am now. There we go. We'll take the chunking. And he's about to die. Okay, so that was mean. That was actually really mean. This map got converted, I think. So what happened there is that the monster decided to roll a map, and then the mechanics of this map mod have a chance to convert any maps that drop into other things. So Conqueror maps, Elder Guardian maps, Maven Invitation, Shaper Guardian maps, and Unique maps. Those stats come about based upon the specifics of what's rolled on the map itself. These are item level 86 bases, so there's some potential for them to be good. In fact, I'll pick these up. And back to slowly, methodically clearing is the plan. And 10, 12, that's fine. I don't mind that. Take the chunking. 19, that's enough. 24, that's more than enough. Now, I am not someone who's particularly tanky except against physical damage. Physical damage, I can survive a Shaper Slam, but probably not a critical strike from the Shaper. But other elemental damage I'm a lot squishier against. I've just got basic 75 resist and a tiny bit of extra defense on top of that. A little bit of suppression, but not much yet. Actually still in pretty dumpster gear at the moment. I haven't been investing in character power yet enough. Not nearly as much as I should be. Alright, let's endure that. We're still over 50 monsters left in the zone, so we're still going to take it slow and careful. We've only encountered 4 rare monsters so far that we've killed. I'm just looking at my map device alert, which might have my face in the way of it, so you might not be able to see it. There's not a very large number of monsters here, and youch, that's probably a one-shot capable, that thing. Lightning Mirage, so let's not get hit by it. That was easy to kite anyway. Grab the high level bases. Actually kill very much there. Oh, that's because those monsters were a bit tankier. 23, yep, we're going to take a big hit now. Let's go and do that over in the corner, where even if a monster does follow, it's not going to get me. Or it's not going to splat me. Higher level amethyst string, be a useful crafting base sometimes. Probably not, honestly. Usually want something that's fractured instead, like a ring that actually drops with fracture as a monster conversion or similar. Tends to be better than higher item level. There's plenty that drop across a trade leg. Alright, we'll take the 1,000 and something damage here. Chunk. Easily survived though. That looks like a rare. It is. It's a 7 mod rare, but it looks like it's also dying pretty quickly. It's got temporarily revives on it. I'm going to take that seriously. It's usually not a scary mod, but I'm just going to treat it like it's going to kill me. Because better to find out that better to be overcautious than to be wrong. I just made a mistake there that I think is going to be pretty common on these detonation maps. I cast a skill that was interruptible, Val Flame Blast, while my detonation timer was about to tick down to 0. And there's the successful completion. Consequently, I took a hit that stunned me out of my Val skill. That's unfortunate, but it's entirely my mistake. Hit the singular Reliquary, and that's the end of it. So that thing just appeared when I killed 90% of the monsters in the map, having already met all the rest. And we have a comment that appears to be in Latin. From ashes we rise, we conquer, and we claim the prize we deserved. Ex sinibrius surget vincimius et murtimer ravium. I think that, oh well, I'm definitely not pronouncing that right. But you can tell I don't have any language skills at all. And then there's a small number of extra monsters. Anyways, that's my first Valdo's map. A bit of fun. Definitely one that had to be taken slowly and carefully because of that Detonate mod. That thing is no joke. That thing is really, really no joke at all. It'll wreck you, but as long as you play slowly, carefully, and methodically, you can manage it. If it is paired with something that prevents you from playing slowly, carefully, and methodically, though, that might be a lot worse. For example, area becomes fatal after some time. That one is going to be very difficult with it. I'm going to leave it there. May your Valorbs have interesting results.